There's a saying that a role of a writer is not to say what we can all say, but what we are unable to say. Kaka Kaka Padathula, Jyotika Vandu, when she looks at Surya and says, I want to make love to you. I remember Nani and her friends are like, wow, this is nice. This is nice that a woman can look up to a man and say that. And also it is presented with a color of dignity to it. So, Minga and the Mari dialogues, you were writing it to sort of sell a reality that you wanted to see, or it was something that you were already familiar with?
The question has the answer itself. It's a little bit of both, I think. This is the way women speak, and this is the way two people speak. So why can't that be on screen? I didn't think twice about it.
Okay.
Neither did the actors. Neither did Jyotika or Surya ask me, why is this line there? I'm uncomfortable.
Okay.
So they are the first responders, so to speak, right? And then it didn't seem like an awkward thing to say, or it didn't seem like very unnatural to say also to me. And so far nobody's even called me up to say, or even looked at me and said, how did you have such a why did you have such a line in that sense? So I thought it was just a very natural way to people speak like that. So when I wrote it itself, it was like that, and we filmed it. It was even better with the actors saying it.
Okay,
so,
but has anybody complimented you for that?
Yeah. At that time itself, like how you're saying now, and this happened in 2003, so many years ago.
Yeah.
There was a lot of. So only when people bring it up, you realize that you're trying, that there's an edge here, and you've done something which is not probably done. Like I keep getting this question a lot, saying, why are the women characters in your film so intense and so different from the other films? Which is why I think they asked the question also, because in other films they don't treat them like that, I think. Why they dress so nicely, and why do you portray them a certain way? Because that's the only way to do it, right? So this question comes up only because in most of the other films it's not like that. Otherwise for us it's a very natural thing to do, is what I thought. Yeah.
I remember all of us thinking that it was quite daring and beautiful. So that was a very nice thing. When we write, what we are as a person comes through. Yeah. For example, Kaka Kakala last scene, I remember Jyotika on the screen ella moodittu இப்படிதான் இருக்கணும்னு இல்லை, ஆனால் இப்படி இருந்தால் நல்லா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. So the minute I see, I will think the writer, okay, he doesn't like to be thrust things. He likes to put them in a suggestive way. And the you'll pick up attitudes about the person who's written it. So in some ways you become very naked, especially to people who can decode. So does that scare you? Does that limit you? Does it play any influence in your writing?
It doesn't mean when I'm making a film about a serial killer, I am that.
But it will still filter through your sensibilities.
Yeah. I put myself in that space. I read a lot.
Yeah.
I met police officers while making scripts about police characters. Okay. With the protagonist being a police officer. Surya and I went and met a lot of police officers, and one particular police officer, just to figure out body language and whether what we've written makes sense or not. So there is some work, but at the same time it comes from within. Yeah, and the hope is I know people say, they'll ask you also, is this you? Is there a lot of you in this and all that? I just leave it for them to figure out whether it's me or not. That's
okay, yeah. But it doesn't scare you at all?
It doesn't scare me at all, yeah. In fact, I think I'm a lot more open in my films about my own, and I keep saying this also, that this is from here, and this is from my own life, and there is a Jesse and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm not scared at all. Yeah.
But how do the characters you take from real life respond to this when they see it?
Not too well. No. I mean, I'm not entirely joking.
Okay.
But initially, especially with the Jesse character, I did have to clear a few things. I did, I mentioned that there is a story that I've made, and there's a lot of you in the story, and would you like to see the film? And obviously, like the character in the film, they're from a very sort of a conservative family, and wouldn't like things to be really out in the open in that sense and all that. But I had to clear this. So, and I think it's something that I owed, to her in that sense. So we showed her the film, and then she liked it. And then I think later when the kids grew up, her kids, that's when they realized that this could be, not many women who are also named Jessie also, right? So. And then there's a lot of moments from my own life.
Jessie is the real name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, you didn't even change the name? Okay.
No, I didn't, yeah. And also, but a lot of other names have been changed in other films and all that. But this is too close to me, the story itself, this idea itself. I can't keep referring to everything as a story. But what happened was very close to me. Like it really influenced me a lot during my teens and all that stuff. So I decided I'll write about it. And then it was made into a film. But there are other moments from, some from stuff from my family, from my sister, from myself that's been in film, and they recognize it.
Okay.
And it's just a conversation over the dining table, and be careful, Gautham is around, let's not talk too much. Kind of.
Oh, and the Murray.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. One of the fascinating things about Vinetandi Vargaya is how realistic it was. Like everybody felt it was like a guy next door. And you have many ways of how you make things realistic. One of the things I found that the kind of detailing you have. Shuma Trisha and I'm a programmer and a stream, because you don't hear real designations, you don't see real interviews. Things like in the Puttu Kadla Karina, all these things, it's not that they add to the story, but they just make it more real and sort of you just become very connectable, Madri. I don't know if there's a word, but Anda Madri. So this is only a matter of intent. In a fiction, you can bring about this degree of detail.
Yeah, you have to, I think.
Okay.
You really have to. And it came by in the writing itself.
Okay.
And this Puttu Kadla Curry. And in fact, I'll tell you one more thing. I had a team, shamelessly in Sulamata, but shamelessly going to the bus stops where most of these IT professionals wait to get into the bus, like you saw Jesse doing that in Vinetandi Varuvaya, to figure out if they actually wear saris. Because when I wrote it, and my first brief to the team and the costume designer was, I want to see her in a lot of saris. So there was a lot of debate as to whether these IT professionals going to work would wear so many saris on a regular sort of But I said, let's cross that line.
Yeah.
But then just to keep it a little more authentic, we went and tried to check, and we filmed a few people also. Some of them were in saris, So we decided we'll keep it, but maybe I did a lot more of that in that film. So I think a little bit of making sure is necessary. But all this came in the writing itself. Like all these moments that you're talking about, trying to make it as real as possible. See, finally it's a suspension of disbelief, and you bring people into theater and all that.
Yeah.
If somewhere they can connect and they realize that this can happen to you, or this has happened to somebody then it works better for the story and the film, I think. So obviously, yeah.
Okay. And in terms of dialogue writing, which is favorite of yours? Like of the movies you've done, in terms of dialogue, which you think is the best?
There's a splattering that I like here and there. I like the interaction between Himanika and Satyadev and Yanne Arindal. I thought it was very real, mature in that sense. A police officer and this dancer, woman, they meet, they connect, and she has a child already. So there's one flow in the conversation that I really liked while I was writing, and with these two actors who came to perform, the characters. A bit of the lines in Kaka Kaka, lots of the lines in Vinetandi, lots of the lines in Bharanam. So I can't really pick. In Betiyadu Vilayadu, some of the lines are very, even though I'm saying it myself, the Yen Kannu Venun Ketia and all that is very sort of cult, right? So I mean, people might say, but I think I get a lot of response for these lines wherever I go. Like I'm asked to do this. I'm asked to, when I go up on stage, when I go up on stage, they'll ask me to say, hi Malini, I'm Krishnan now. Everywhere they make me say it. So I realize that it's connected and it resonates with people, and I'm still made to say these lines.
Okay. So, I thought it would have changed over the years.
No, nothing has changed.
Still as intense as before. No. Interesting. Maniratnam told in one interview that a story is an excuse for you to say what you want to say. So when you write, have you defined what you want to say and then weave the story around?
No.
Or you just go about and you don't have anything specific to say?
Yeah, but I think all that comes up in the writing. The only thing is, I don't know what I'm going to write about. I am blank and I just sit to write. And so far it's been like that. Over the past 2-3 years, no. Writing's been really sketchy. But till then, it's been blank page, completely blank. I'm feeling good, I'm inspired, let me write. And I sit to write and I just take it as it comes. And within that, I do all this. Now let me say this, now let me say that, sort of a thing. I even step back after I've got about 50%, I step back a bit. I read it. I'll think, can I push it a little more? Okay, here I've been naughty, here I've been typical me. Should I change the structure a little bit? And then when I have 80 to 90% of the script on board, I go ahead and shoot it. Like somebody asked us even in the afternoon, right? You don't have a full script when you go to shoot. So this is it. I have a 90-95%. I know where I'm going, and I wait to figure out what I've done to the characters, what the characters have done to the story, and I take the journey forward.
Okay, but you're not writing to thinking that this is what I want to say.
No,
it doesn't come from that
no,
space.
there's no plan, there's no method there, I think. There's actually no method to this madness. It's just I just take it as it comes. Yeah.
Okay. So after you write a script, there are several drafts that happen, right? What are the parameters which govern that filtering process?
Not for me, Lakshmi. That's maybe a problem also.
Wow. Okay.
I've never written a second draft. I've just gone ahead to shoot because it's like I told you, I step back after 50%. And I look at the lines and I internalize it and I think how will the actors perform. See, I always, like when you play cricket, I always, being a bowler, I always think of the ball from the batsman's point of view and not when I'm bowling the ball actually. I've always looked at it like that. If I bowl a certain way, how will he play me? So I write the lines and I'll always figure out, okay, I've got Surya or I've got Simbu on board and how will Simbu do this, and then the whole mode of the character itself. Now, this is something, what will Karthik do next? Now that Jesse said this to him, or now that his parents have said this, now that he's at shoot, what can happen? Should Jesse actually take a flight and go there? Or does she keep waiting for him? He's not picking up her calls. So there's a little option, and then I take one route forward, right? I just let it like slide through like that, and then I step back. I have 90%, I go to shoot. So within the writing, there's a little bit of back and forth. But once I have 90%, I've never gone back and rewritten a script, never gone back to rewrite dialogues. On location, Simbu, especially because I like working with him, he might say, "But இப்படி மாத்திடுறேன், இது கொஞ்சம் இப்படி add பண்ணிக்கலாமா?" Like I still remember, I've said this also in a couple of places. Promises are meant to be broken was the line that I wrote. He said, இது யாருக்குமே புரியாது, இது தமிழ்ல சொல்லிடலாம். I said, தமிழ்ல சொல்லலாம், ஆனா சத்தியம் பண்றதே உடைக்கிறதுக்காக தான்ன்றது தமிழ்ல ஒரு இட்ஸ் நாட் ஒரு adage கிடையாது. அது இட்ஸ் நாட் நார்மல் யூஸ்ல யாருமே அப்படி பேச மாட்டாங்க. ரெண்டு பேர் ஒரு காஃபி ஷாப்ல உட்காந்துருந்தோம்னா சத்தியம் பண்றதே உடைக்கிறது தான் யாருமே சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. பட் ப்ராமிசஸ் ஆர் மென்ட் டு பி broken இஸ் a common usage sort of a thing. இல்ல அது பரவாயில்ல, நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொன்னா நிறைய பேருக்கு புரியும்னு சொல்லி he'll tell Trisha in that scene when he goes in the middle of the night to meet her after her wedding is called off and all, சத்தியம் பண்றதே உடைக்கிறதுக்கு தான் அப்படின்னு. But so I gave it to him. So like that there might be some tweaks to a few lines here and there, which I'm okay with. But otherwise it's written, sealed, and then nothing changes after that. Yeah.
We know that cinema is a very influential medium. Yeah, it's very impactful. And on the protagonist role, whatever his demeanor is, attitude is something that people will consciously or unconsciously pick up, especially if they like him. I remember Steven Spielberg, when talking about the movie Catch Me If You Can, adu sollumbodhu he said he got the rights to make that movie, but he said, I wanted to see what he makes out of his life before I immortalize him on screen. So I felt like that was a very nice moral responsibility he had. Do you think a filmmaker should have this moral responsibility about what character he's glorifying on screen?
I think so, to a large extent. And especially we are with the protagonist most of the time. But there is an antagonist who has to make it difficult for the protagonist. Yes. And you also need to know what you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So you need to show that part of the world around you also, right? We're putting everything into the protagonist, glorifying him, and nice guy, great with this woman, and he's got these attributes, attitude, character, and all that stuff. But at the same time, there is an antagonist. Doesn't mean I'm glorifying him. I'm only trying to let you know somewhere within my moral, space that watch out. There are people like this also, so you should be aware, or of what not to do. But then it also ends up that we are glorifying these guys. If I have a slow motion shot of Arun Vijay, who played Victor, running towards the camera, I'm also getting into a story of how he's trying to get away now. He's gotten into all this. He's taken on the protagonist. Now he's trying to get away, so I want to show his desperation also. Doesn't mean I'm glorifying him and I'm trying to ape him or something like that. But the message that goes across to the audience is, he villain evlo glorify பண்ணிட்டாங்க, violence வந்து glorify பண்றாங்களா. So you need to understand what we're trying to do.
Understand the context in which it's operating. Okay. You think cinema's role is to mirror what's happening or to showcase a reality that you want, that you wish for?
I think debatable, a little bit of both as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people in my team, in discussions with writers, saying, why do we need to see what's going on with our lives? it's so murky here. Let's see something else on screen. Why do you want to show me, the sad state of your affairs or something like that? I'm just saying. But I believe there are people who will connect with that also. Right? It's almost like you've gone to the theater and then somebody's showing you a snippet from your own life and you connect with it. So the connect is what we thrive for. So I think, and at the same time, there is like when I make these cop films, right? There's a police officer walking in, there's a gangster standing in front of him, and there are some 10, 15 guys standing in front of him, and he's walked in, no holds barred, and he said, so yen kannu venum niketiya, and he gives him a knife saying, "Mudja edra." So here I'm trying to let you know that this might not have happened, but this could happen, and see how I'm filming it and how I've brought it to you. So it's a bit of both, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the appropriate thing is to balance both.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
And name some favorite films just with respect to writing outside of your work.
Dead Poets Society, Scent of a Woman.
Okay.
Obviously Godfather, because it is a brilliant book, which is adapted for the screen by a director, and the writer also came on board. I think he was one of the producers in the film. And see, that's another thing that I really want to do. And this adapted screenplays, when you adapt from a book or a story and you adapt it for the screen, there's some brilliance in that also. Something that's already been, classified as a great book or a novel, and you have the guts to actually revisit that world, but on film. And how interesting do you make it? What do you choose to leave out? How much do you, jump from one moment to the other? That's great writing, I think, if you can crack that. So I'm a big fan of the adapted screenplays also that, happen from transition from literary world to screen. There are a lot of films like that. Can't name something off the hat right now, top of the head right now, but it'll come. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
And how do you see the relationship between books and movies now? How would you like to see it evolve?
I think for me, every time I look for a book, I look to see if this can be adapted into a film.
Okay.
I always see, for me, the visual imagery comes alive, like we talked about your book also.
Yeah.
The first thing I will tell my team is check if we can, buy the option to pick up the option to make this into a film. And it's very difficult being here, to connect with the publisher and then figure out and all that. And mostly these books, the minute they're written itself, they're already, the rights are already given.
Yeah.
Most of the popular books also, I'm saying. But there are lots of books that when I read, I immediately think whether we can make a film. Arundhati Roy's God of Small Things.
Okay.
Including what Anurag Kashyap made for Netflix, right? Sacred Games.
Yeah.
Vikram Seth's Sacred Games. All this, when we read the book itself, I was thinking this could be great film material. And they've been picked up and made into films. So I'm just giving you a few examples, but
okay. So Dead Poet Society, I had written a question about that if you had to rewrite the ending of the book, how would you rewrite it?
No, I wouldn't touch it at all.
No?
No, it's so poignant and so much poetry in that, right?
Oh, you like it the way it is?
Yeah.
So I remember I saw the movie once. I was a little sad. I'm seeing it the second time. And I just told my mom that there was a nice teacher like this. He was trying to do something nice and this happened. And she was like, something like that.
Yeah. So, but I think there was something very befitting in the way they all stand up and, oh captain, my captain, and the way they send them off and all that. No, it's lovely. I mean, I think something should be.
It's perfect the way it is.
But I understand the thought also. Can we go back and change something about this? Can we just I just wish. Like even, I'm talking about a film like Mondram Pirai, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Way back, the last scene where the character that Kamal sir plays, he's at the station and Sridevi is, she's come back from this retrograde amnesia or whatever she had. I mean, and now she doesn't recognize him. He's been with her for 3 to 4 years, and now she doesn't recognize him. So he's trying to remind her that this is him, and we've spent time, and he's trying to show her all these things that they've been through over the past 4 years. He falls, he runs, he gets, but she doesn't recognize him at all. She thinks he's just a beggar and she tries to give him some money or something like that, and you wish, oh my God, that things would be different. Like so many films, so much material is there where you wish, but then you always come out thinking, best just leave it be.
Oh, okay. Okay, now we have some one-line questions, meaning questions which need one-line answers.
Only one line?
Yes. Okay. Or word, if you want to expand upon, yes, feel free to. Pen or keyboard for writing?
Pen.
Okay.
Good old-fashioned pen.
A movie that's better than the book?
A movie that's better than the book.
It's a tough question.
A lot of films, I think. Hannibal, Red Dragon, films like that I felt were like really adapted very well for screen.
Okay.
And sort of even a film like Day of the Jackal. Films like that I'm saying. I can, if you spend more time, I can probably come up with more names, but right now,
Okay.
brain fog kind of thing. Yeah.
And a book that you have reread the most?
Catcher in the Rye, a lot of the P.G. Wodehouse books I just
You've
keep
read.
revisiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
A fictional character you'd love to have coffee with? A fictional character of yours?
Of mine?
Yeah, that you'd love to have coffee with?
I can't say Karthik is fictional. Jesse also not fictional.
Okay, choose from
maybe Raghavan, Satyadev,
people like that.
Hemanika, Maya,
Got it.
Anbuchelvan, people like that.
A fictional character from movies made by others that you would love to have coffee with?
Oh, many.
3.
3, yeah. Shaktivel from Nayagan, the older Kamala Hassan.
Okay.
Velu Nayakar, that is. And then the character Divya Revati plays in Maunaragam.
Oh,
Divya,
what would you ask her?
many things.
Then question
Can you get over Karthik and sort of meet me? Stuff like that. Or why haven't you gotten over the character that Karthik played? And I'm actually influenced a lot by the characters that Kamal sir plays on screen. So I remember these characters a lot. There's a character that he played in a film called Satya. I don't mind having a conversation with him because I started wearing this after I saw that film.
The movie.
So,
yeah. So that character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 words that describe your writing style.
Flamboyant, real, and right now nothing.
Okay. What's harder, starting or finishing a story?
Starting. I have no problems finishing off story, but starting is the biggest thing.
Longest you've stared at a blank page?
Oh, blank
Too
page,
long.
blank laptop screen,
Okay.
3-4 hours. Lots of these cafes where I sit trying to write and nothing happens.
And why do you choose a cafe to sit and write?
I write at office, I write at home, I write when I'm traveling
Oh,
also.
okay.
Yeah, so it's
Cafes
the
also
whole
place
line.
you
Yeah.
like.
So, yeah, I don't drink coffee or tea, but somehow I like to sit where there's one buzz happening, you know.
Okay.
And somewhere the smell of the coffee beans, I don't know what it does, even though I don't drink coffee. And just the whole buzz of the place. I try and pick a place like that which is bustling, you know. It's not, I don't need it to be empty and
Okay.
bereft of people and all that. But when there's a lot of people, that buzz sort of gets to me and I start writing.
Okay, you like it.
Yeah.
Last book that made you laugh out loud?
Carry On Jeeves, P.G. Wodehouse. This was 3 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, நான் பெருசா book படிக்க மாட்டேன். Hardly
Yeah.
read fiction. Okay. Dialogue or description? What's more fun to write?
Dialogue.
Do you write to express, explore, or escape?
I think explore. Yeah, definitely not escape. And more than express, I think it's to explore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Writing comes from discipline or impulse?
Impulse. You don't need discipline to write. That's, yeah.
Okay. One thing a story must always have.
An ending.
What makes a line memorable? Rhythm or meaning?
Rhythm.
What are the most 3 important
Actually,
things?
they say this about my lines. It's a little.
there's a rhythm.
It's not the. Although I don't think it's not the Junoon Tamil for sure. Let me put it out there. But the way I structure the lines a line is a bit different from how normally you'd see it on screen. So I think there is a little bit of a screen language, which I'll probably take you through very soon at some point. Yeah.
Okay. What are the 3 most important things a writer needs?
I think a writer needs to be inspired. He needs to explore. And I'm not too bothered about discipline and time.
Okay.
But somewhere he needs to bring it to an end. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you prefer more, reading or writing?
Writing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if writing were a living being, what would you thank her for? What would you request her for? I'm making it a female gender.
Yeah. No, obviously, I think the fact that I'm here sitting and talking to you, the recognition that I'm sort of getting, people coming up to me with a lot of warmth, is all because of the writing, my own writing that's been translated into film. And these films get noticed, the lines have gotten noticed. But whether it's a description of a jeep moving through, crowded streets, or whether it's a description of this woman and what sari and what she's wearing and all that, and the actual line that she's actually telling him. Moments like that, I'm just saying. This is all writing. It's all in the writing. The description, the dialogue, that gets converted finally into the film, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank her from the bottom of my heart. That it's because of all that, it's because of that writing that I'm sitting here and sort of, I won't say basking, but yeah, I am in the moment because of that. So thank you.
Okay. And
hoping she'd, grace me a lot more.
Okay, a lot more of herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can get a little verbal here, but it might not sound, especially since you said she and her, right? So
I'm sort of biased that way. I just made it a she.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can say I wish she'd be all over me, but then since you said she, I need to be a little careful about
Okay, if it's a he, would your answer change?
I wouldn't mind saying I wish she'd be all over me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, nice. Thank you so much.
I'm not asking you any questions. I thought.
If you want to ask, okay. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. But
no, so tell me about, since you're the writer today and your book is released. That's why we're meeting in that space. So this whole, how many chapters are there? If I look at it as chapters in this book.
28 stories.
So did you set out to write 28 stories? I know 3 or 4 you had to add towards the end.
Yes.
But did you set out to write 25 stories? Was this the idea in your mind when you started writing? Because like I've told you many times and here also, I don't have any idea when I set to write. But did you know you were going to write about all these girls and these women and their ideas and their thoughts and all that, and divide them into so many chapters?
No, because they were all short stories, I didn't have to divide it.
Yeah.
But I think I already had about 30 stories before even this idea of making a book happened. And the idea of making a book happened organically. So I didn't set out to write this many stories. But after having the stories, this idea of getting it published, I had to filter it. Okay, this is share-worthy, this is not share-worthy. This has got something concrete that that's worth putting it for mass consumption. So I did a lot of filtering to take out the stories, but I didn't set out to.
Okay, and the publishing house, how much did they edit or how much did they look at the material?
So it's sort of, so Christoph did some part and then I worked with another editor. So it was a lot of repeat work that happened. So the publishing house, it was mainly about getting the book out into the respective platforms.
Okay.
Yeah. And also this had a color version, this had a black and white version. So there are a lot of work that happened, like the technical part. That's about it.
What's next?
So next I want to write a book simply because I want to prove to myself that I can write in a shorter span of time. This took a lot more time than what I had envisioned. I don't want to share the idea at this point because you feel like it's delicate and you want to. That's about it. Otherwise, it's.
Would you try your hand at screenwriting in that sense? I'm saying you write a book, yes.
Yeah.
Which gets published and all that.
Yeah.
But material for film, I'm saying.
I've already tried my hand at screenwriting. I like it. I think writing
but they don't
is
know
writing.
that, no?
Oh, thank you. I think writing is writing. The medium is just a technicality, no? I think it's sort of the same skill and the same joy you get.
No, I'll beg to differ because for the screen, you have to write a certain way. There's a length that you have to keep in mind. And I'm talking about something that's written and just taken to film immediately by the director. So then there's a specific way to write, keeping the characters in mind, length in mind. There should be a Tamil cinema would tell you a slightly high point at the intermission and then take
they
it
have
to a
certain
climax.
curves to follow. All that is there.
That way. That way alone. Otherwise, writing is writing, yes.
Yeah, but I think these boundaries are some ways they're kind of good stimulators to sort of get more creative juice. So I like those boundaries, and it's nice to play within that field.
I've read your book, and I'm hoping to read your next one very soon.
Okay, thank you. I want to offer my thanks most sincerely, and so it's really nice of you to do this. And personally, don't have anything to gain from this. So I'm very, very touched that you're open to doing this. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best to you.